Jump out the rack in the middle of the night.
Jump out the rack in the middle of the night.
Gonna make a head call and I'm ready to fight.
Gonna make a head call and I'm ready to fight.
All right, there we go.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Bands you've heard of.
Hello and welcome to Bands You've Never Heard Of. We are back.
Yes, we are.
And we are here to feature another band you've never heard of. I'm JR.
And I'm Gary.
I'm so excited because typically in the hours leading up to when Gary and I sit down to record one of these, I am pulling together all of the notes that I've been making over the past few weeks, making sure I got all the links loaded up, all my interview questions ready to go, all of my thoughts on the songs, how I'm going to reveal the band to Gary, how the show is going to go. I have a picture of all of that in my mind when we hit record, and today I got nothing. None of that.
Yeah.
All I had to do was show up with the computer and hit record, and here's what's happening.
And then run the show from there on out. But
I am a bit of a control freak on this, so this I am still going to do a lot, but I don't know what really. I'm going to do.
I don't consider yourself a control freak on this particular thing because this is your baby, number one, and you should have complete control over it. But number two, I want no control. I do want to introduce this band though.
So let me finish priming the audience just a little bit, and then you get to sort of dictate how it goes from here. I typically bring the bands, and Gary legit has no idea what band I'm going to bring him. He doesn't even know the name of the band, nothing.
No name, no genre, no instrumentation, no
we strive hard to maintain the integrity of that first half of the show each week is that. And this one is different because Gary is going to bring me the band. Now, the only bit of that that's different is that I happen to know the name of the band. That's it. I know nothing. I have not listened to any of these songs. I haven't looked for any socials. I don't even know if they have a website. I don't even know if they're on Spotify, right? I know nothing other than the name of this band. Gary is going to basically, we're reversing roles. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm still going to share my screen and play the songs. Gary's just going to tell me what to play. So I that's what's happening. Gary, how do you want to go from here, buddy? It's up to you.
Well, first I have to do a truth in advertising because I feel this is, because we have such integrity with this podcast. Yes. I mean, if there's nothing left, if there's nothing that we have, period, we do have integrity with this podcast. And I know this band. I actually contract for this band. They are one of my clients. As everyone knows, music is what I do for a living, which means I do websites for musicians. I do graphics. I do anything that needs to be done outside of toting equipment, because that's just beyond me now, because I am old and I'm in not the greatest of health. But anything I can do to work with a musician or a group that I feel is, I don't want to say worthy, but I feel that is exceptional, I'm going to do it. And if I can get paid for it, I'm going to do it super good. So these are my clients. I just wanted to get that out of the way.
This is kind of like when NPR does a story about Amazon, they have to say, and in full disclosure, Amazon is a sponsor of All Things Considered, that kind of thing. So we wanted you to know.
Yes. So anyway, I've been, usually JR's been working with the band or been listening to the band. He's reached out and contacted them. And he spent about a month or so with them. I have spent probably, I think, around the last 8 months with these guys, doing assets for their singles, doing their website, doing just all the little nitty gritty stuff that.
Wait, I just realized something when you said that. So when I throw out my opinion on their website, I'm judging you.
Go for it, dude. I mean, you gotta. I mean, if there's something wrong, or if there's a problem, or if there is like, ew, I need to know that shit, man. I am just
So don't hold back.
don't hold back.
Just
Actually,
'cause
go
it's you.
go harder.
Okay, I will do that.
I'm seriously go harder.
Okay.
Because I want that. It's not that I need it. I need more love in my life. Shout out to Bad Bunny. But I want that in anything that I do or we do or anything like that. I want people to get into oh, you really fucked this part up, or, you could have done this really better, or, hey, why don't you try this instead of that? We don't get enough of that. I don't think anyone gets enough of that, but I swear to God, I get almost zero of that. And I need that. I actually absolutely 100% need it.
And
But
if you, dear listener, want to give Gary that kind of feedback, BYNHOPod.com is the place to start. There's even a place right there where you can contact us on BYNHOPod.com, which is a Gary Hawthorne website.
And just leave that comment.
Yeah, there you go.
But anyway, so I just wanted to get that out of the way. I love these guys as humans, but more importantly, I love their music. Like I said, I've been living with them for about 8 months now. Oddly enough, the way this came about was I was in the studio with Kevin Mack, the producer of Plan B. We're working on vocals and guitar or something. I don't know. But anyway, he goes, I got to take a break at 11 o'clock and talk with one of my clients for about an hour. I'm like, no problem. I got I'm here, I'm living here for a week. And so he gets on and he tells the guy, hey, my man Gary's here. So, whatever. And it happens to be this band, and he already knows who it is. So it's the band 434. So
that was the band name reveal.
Yes, the band name reveal is 434.
434.
So what do you think about 434 straight up?
First off, I would have said 434 because it's an area code. It's our area code. And
it is.
I would have just said 434, but it's they say 434.
The actual band of the name is 434. Yes.
Is it a reference to the area code, or does it refer to something else?
100%.
Okay.
It is the area code. Fun little tidbit. Only one person lives in the 434.
In this band, only one person? That's funny.
Out of 4.
Maybe I am curious how this works with searching for that on Google. I will try that later once I start sharing my screen and everything.
Yeah, so once we start showing screens, I'll show you how easy it is to happen.
Cool.
So he takes a video call, and up on the big screen is the one of the leaders of 434. And he's going on, and Kevin is going back and forth with him about how how shitty their website is, and how they're never going to get anywhere as long as they have this jank ass website. And I'm like, I can build them a website. And he goes, okay, here you go. And there we are. And we've become actually good friends over the last 8 months, just because I was sitting there at the moment he was talking, and the guy was totally fed up with the people that were doing their website and their graphics and everything else, and so now I do that for them. So just wanted to get that out in the open. So we're working together. These guys we share a producer, so we're very attached to it. The fun thing is JR is totally clueless as to who these people are. And so I'm going to read you their bio.
All right. I love it. I'm going to react to the bio.
About
sorry.
434.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I'm putting my Gary hat on here. I'm ready to
Put your Gary hat on, man.
Jot down some notes.
Put some notes down.
Yeah.
Let's get this going.
All right, let's do the bio.
No fads, no gimmicks, no trends. Just pure heavy rock. Written and performed by a band who live what they preach. Central Virginia's own heavy rock powerhouse, 434, is set to unleash a series of explosive new singles through at the end of 2026, beginning with their latest release, Stuck Out, and continuing with Sex Weapon. Formed in 2019, the band has launched several singles and an EP, consistently building on the sound, production style, and stage presence of each consecutive release. Their resume is impressive thus far, with previous tracks reaching number 26 on the SMR FM charts, as well as achieving a #1 release on digital internet charts. The group has matured into a cinematic arena rock style that harkens back to when singer Mike Vernon and guitar player Scott Jordan were intrinsically linked, defining the band's essence. And the rhythm section, Craig Coyner bass and Greg Baker drums, was so massive that it shook the car when played loudly, which is the only option. If you take the best moments of early Aerosmith, The Cult, Alice in Chains, and System of a Down, mix in a little bit of the Dead Kennedys, and top it off with Theater of Meatloaf, you have 434, the soundtrack to the apocalypse. The new singles are produced, engineered, mixed, mastered by Kevin McNoldy of Dave Matthews, Backstreet Boys, Howie D, Mary J. Carpenter, Seven Mary 3, and thousands of others, including, to be fair, with additional engineering by Russell Bartley. 434 are currently performing throughout the East and expanding their grassroots fan base. 434 are rapidly earning a reputation as a must-see live event. Does that get you excited, or is it like, oh, that's too much hyperbole?
It's somewhere in the middle of that. It was edging on too much hyperbole at times. I like these very specific bands that their music should remind you of, or that they were influenced by. I wrote down some of them. I don't know if I caught them all. Aerosmith, Meatloaf, Dead Kennedys.
Meatloaf, Dead Kennedys. The Cult, Alice in Chains, System of a Down.
I'm about 50-50 on this list of bands that I resonate with. I was definitely a 90s grunge guy. That was the time. That was my formative years for music. That being said, somehow Alice in Chains never really did it for me. But Aerosmith definitely did. System of a Down is great. Meatloaf, Dead Kennedys, I couldn't tell you anything about them other than their name is the Dead Kennedys, and certainly the Cult had some hits that I can remember. So
we did an entire podcast on the Cult. We did like an hour and a half on the Cult, so you should know.
Right, it's been a while.
You should know some Cult by now.
I mean, I knew it that day when we did that podcast when you educated me, but I have since forgotten because they were never on my radar. Yeah. So I can't say that this list of influences has got me psyched. The general idea that is being presented in this bio about this band, that live show, heavy rock, powerhouse, all of that has got me excited. So, and just because I didn't fall in love with Alice in Chains doesn't mean that a band influenced by them isn't going to do it for me. So, no, this style of music that you're describing from this bio, I'm all in. I'm all for it.
Awesome. Because we've actually talked about this before, because I've been going a little harder over the last little bit, and that has been, JR becomes a little concerned. It's like, wow, how should I play this? Should I hit him soft and go harder, or should I hit him with the hard and I gotta tell you, dude.
Okay.
I do not envy you every other week or whenever we do this. The you picking the order of the songs to present.
Yeah, you've been thinking about that this last hour or so, right? And you're like, oh, which song goes first?
The last 2 days. It's because
it's agonizing.
it is, because how do you want to start? I mean, and how do you want to do it? How do you want to do it? Do you want to, because in a lot of cases you want to do it kind of chronologically. A lot of cases you want to do it. Hey, I really like the song, but I don't think that is going to be your number one song. And I know that's how you take it a lot. And you want to work up to the one that, oh yeah, that's the one,
And just as hard as choosing the order of the few songs we get to play, it's choosing the songs, right? Because usually with most bands, there's a couple albums, or even if it's just one album, there's
Right.
10 songs to choose from. We can't play 10 songs. I got to choose the best, and then also factor in how you're going to react to that.
Right. Yeah. So I am lucky in this case because they only got 5 songs.
Okay.
Okay. So they had an EP, but that is not online. And so they've got 5 singles that they've put out over the years. And I'm going to tell you, when I popped open the thing today, because I'm like, oh, they're friends of mine, they play the local, but they do a lot of East Coast stuff. I'm like, they probably got, because I knew that they had 2,000 or 3,000 plays of a lot of things. First song today, that's almost 94,000 plays.
Whoa. So we're doing this just in time.
Yes, just in time. So that's another thing that is coming in. It's like, wow, this is like a couple of the other bands we've done recently, is that they're right on the cusp of not qualifying. And the beauty of it is that we got it under the wire. So, but anyway, so you're getting ready to, this is Bad Bunny.
This is my homepage on Spotify at the moment.
All right, so we're going to 434.
Just the numbers.
But
434.
actually go to the website, man. Let's check out that website.
All right, wait. I've typed in the numbers 434, and it's suggesting an artist 434 spelled out. Is that how they do it? Do they spell it out?
That does not. No, that is not their.
That's a different artist.
No.
Okay. I'm gonna hit enter on this, but then I'll go hit the website because you want to go there first. So when I type 434,
and right there on the bottom, you have
this one right here.
No, the one to the left.
Oh,
there you go. Yeah.
So they do spell.
So it is one. Yeah, I misread the little
Okay.
logo.
Got it.
All right, so
we're all seeing 434 for the first time right now.
we are seeing 434 for the first time.
All right, but we're not going to listen yet. We're going to go pull up the website.
We're going to go pull up the website because the first song I want to play is their number one song on Spotify with almost 94,000.
All right, so now I'm on my browser. I'm typing in
434 band. Just 434B, and this should bring you right there.
And I think I would do that naturally, right? Like if you said, hey, I found this new band, they're called 434 or 434, search them, go find their website.
Yeah.
Just knowing what I know about Google searches, I would probably go 434 is way too common. I would just type in the word band after that. So that's a pretty natural and logical way to search for them, right? If I just type 434, it's not going to happen.
But if you don't have the, there it is, at the very, very top.
434band.com is the website. We're off to a great start with the website. I love this picture. I love the way that the website opened up. Now I'm just judging your like web creation skills, website creation skills. Is that a picture taken at the Foundry?
You are correct.
Nice. So, no notes. See, I'm looking at this website from the perspective of a person who is searching for bands to put on a show like this. So I go to a lot of band websites, and there's plenty that leave a lot to be desired, but this has all the things I need, right? I can see the band. I got links to some videos. I can listen to them. I can read about them. I can read press about them. So it's not just what they write about themselves, but what others write about them. No, this is a great website for my purposes, and I think for anybody that wants to know more about the band, I think this works. I wish I had some more criticism for you. I'll see if I can figure something out. But
don't you wish you had a website like this? Oh, you do.
I do. That's right. Yeah, let's go look at Spotify.
On Spotify.
Whiskey Fist, 93772. They have a total of, there's at least, well, they have a top 10
songs. Yeah.
Stuck Out, that must be their newest release.
That's the newest one. That's going to be the last one we do.
Not enough plays to register on Spotify yet.
Well, it came out yesterday.
Well, there you go. So they've got a couple songs with some serious plays going on, some traction. They're getting some traction. When I look down here, what do we got? Singles. Are they all singles? No album releases yet?
No, one EP. But I don't know if they listed it here as an EP.
The gold EP. There it is.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's what Whiskey Fist and Red Eye are on. Their two most played songs.
Yeah.
All right. So this is Whiskey Fist by 434 on bands you've never heard of.
I need a smoke for my lungs.
Okay, JR, what do I think?
Okay, JR, what do you think?
I dig the groove. I was immediately tapping my foot to the kick drum pattern, which really sounded. It was not just a cookie cutter kick drum pattern. It was creative. This is a pretty straightforward song, right? Like it's not going unexpected places, but the drums are just locked in and doing stuff that's interesting, despite the fact that it's not a super crazy new version of a song, right? Like this is a pretty standard type of song.
Yeah, and that's their number one song.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I mean that's the thing. So I wanted to play that to contrast.
I have more thoughts on it.
Okay.
You don't want to move to the next song yet, do you?
No. I want you to go.
I could definitely hear the Alice in Chains influence on the guitar. I'm no guitar expert by any stretch, but I could hear that like right away. I probably would have heard that early on in the song, even if I hadn't been primed to be thinking about Alice in Chains. I heard a little bit of David Lee Roth, Van Halen sort of patter going on. I kind of dig that, like in the beginning of Hot for Teacher when David Lee Roth is talking about the teacher, like that kind of stuff. I heard some of in David Lee Roth, Van Halen influence. I heard some Clutch, the band Clutch. It feels like they feel very Clutch-y, if that's a thing. And I think this now I got to wrestle with what you have to wrestle with. How critical do I want to be?
I mean, this is the whole thing. We want to be truthful. I
wanted him to sing. He was talking the whole time, screaming a little bit, but I wanted some singing.
You wanted some more melody.
Yeah.
Okay. This is from a few years ago.
Okay. Yeah, 2021.
Yeah, it's from 5 years ago. So now they've started working with Kevin McNoldy, who is the melody master.
Mm-hmm.
There are other ones in there. Their Dope Bag is a great fucking song, even though it doesn't have the same level of plays. But I want to go to Rent, because that is, and honestly, I was working with them, and then they put out For Rent, and that's where I fell in love with them.
Oh, all right.
So that is this is their second energetic opposition, which is also a good song. Also was with Kevin McNoldy.
So both of these songs, Energetic Opposition and For Rent, are Kevin McNoldy produced songs.
Kevin Mac produced songs.
Okay.
But For Rent is where I really fell in love with him. So
cool. I love that. That's one of the I usually like to play, like the hook, the song that got me hooked on a band. That's I regardless of what you're going to think of it, I almost always play that song, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. So this is that song for you.
This is that song. Yeah, for me.
This is For Rent by 434.
Meant to be for long, stuck living in a swing.
cent. Hollywood was looking good, didn't work out like she thought it would. Paid for loving but not with checks. The greener welcome cash is best. Lady of the night keeps swimming along. Love to hate doing what you're doing, singing the same old song. Used to be a fun girl, helping to make amends. Too big to pay the rent. It wasn't meant to be for long. Stuck living in a swing town. Take a ride for a nickel, go down for just 1 cent. To be for long, stuck living in a swing town. I take a ride for a nickel, go down for just 1 cent. She was calculated and so time is but a keeper, a monster in the fold. She lies awake, her body aches, her brain debates. Take another loss and I'm leaving.
I like that he can sing.
He can sing,
he can absolutely sing. I mean, on the first song, I was a little worried that he was growling and yelling at me because he couldn't sing.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like rap. It's like, oh, you're rapping because you can't sing, and then when you find out a rapper can sing like a motherfucker,
T-Pain.
Yeah, you're like, why the fuck aren't you doing that all the time, man? But I love the way he goes back and forth.
Yes.
You know, that's my whole.
I wrote down, I love the growl / no growl, the contrast of those two things, and they can come in the same sentence, right?
Yeah.
The same phrase. He can go from the beautiful, almost angelic voice into that dirty, rotten growl. And he could switch back and forth, and to have that kind of control of his voice tells me that he's got a lot more vocal talent than I originally thought just from the first song. I mean, I thought it was a different guy. The first line or two of this song is him in that other voice, and I just like, was this other guy who else in the band is singing? And then he dropped back into the growl. I'm like, oh, it is the same guy. Awesome.
Yeah.
So yes, and I like this song a lot better than Whiskey Fist. Whiskey Fist seems like it would be a shit ton of fun to play live in a bar, right? Like that has got to get the crowd really going, and I get it.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But this song is for me. This song is for me.
Yeah, that one is, and like I said, that's the one I fell in love with, and largely it is because of what Mike's doing. He's just, you know, he's playing his whole hand, kind of. You know, before he was just kind of throwing it out a little bit, you know, and mostly just talking. He does talk. I mean, he does a lot of, but it's not rapping. It's literally talk singing, I guess.
Yeah,
you would call it.
And he did that in the entirety of the first song. Like 95% of it was that, and I don't mind some of that. And he did a little bit of that on For Rent, but there was enough of an actual vocal performance,
right, but just the right amount.
Yeah, it's fine to be peppering that in to sort of accent some things, but no, this was cool, very good.
And you know, and I got to say, part of that is I'm sure Kevin McNoldy, who's the melody master. You know, he is not he's not to be discounted at all. They work with him intrinsically and absolutely, and I think that has made a huge difference. And goddamn, it's just good. It's just so fun good. So
Yeah.
it's the last one we're gonna play.
Okay. I'm predicting that it's stuck out.
You are correct, but I need to preface this because
Okay.
this just came out. We are on the leading edge as we usually are. Why I don't have any idea, but we are. Okay, so here's an email I just got. We're coming out of the gate firing on all 6 cylinders, collecting a total ads on impact. We have landed at number 4 most added spot on the SMR chart and tie for number 3 most added on the media base activator panel. Whatever that means, but that is a amazing thing. First day of release. This song has not been heard yet, really, until right now. It's stuck out by 434.
Shame before, shame me after. A pointed finger, pointed laughter. Critically critical, sinfully cynical. You. Shame on me for I shame you. Demeanor does, demeanor do. Spectator, spectacle, mentally criminal me. Might be stuck out on a limb, and what a beautiful shape to bend. That's what stuck out in my mind. Ooh, just not today. I thought you was the missing chapter. Boy, was I soughting after. Red and cap and green and gold, sophisticatingly liberal. You. Shame me 1 and shame me 2. 3 has ticket for the loom. Blue and bleeding, black and gold, liberatingly sexual. Me. Might be stuck out on a limb. What a beautiful shape to bend. That's what stuck out in my mind. Might be stuck out on a limb. And what a beautiful shape to bend. That's what stuck out in my mind. Call it what you want, my friend. No need for a bitter end. Point that arrow, it just away.
Yeah. That fucking rocked.
I
Okay.
was hoping you would like that a little bit.
Oh, that drives hard. And his vocals weren't as angelic as for Rent, but he absolutely brought in more singing and more melody.
Exactly.
While at the same time he's also yelling at me, which I like. but the drive in that song never stops.
It's
we're
relentless.
no, we are suckers for. We do this in our own band, and I love it when bands do it. Like when they'll do a stop in a song. No stopping here. This was like 65 miles an hour, pedal to the metal, accelerating and just going for it. Wow. Yeah. No, I dig that.
And the mayhem at the end was it was just exquisite, man. That's what I was hoping that you would kind of pick up on that too, because it's like later today, because it's mayhem.
It goes nuts at the end.
It's just like, but it's just pushing through, and it's like, oh shit, Yes. Please stop this. We're done. Okay, I can't take it anymore. My heart.
Yeah, it's like an orgasm, right? Like it's like while it's happening, and then when you're done, you're like, I am so glad that just happened. But it can't keep happening.
Please wait for a minute, and then we'll try it again. I promise we'll try it again.
So this band is basically a 3-piece with a singer, right? Like he doesn't, or does he play an instrument, or is he is just on the mic?
He is the front man. I mean, there are no other microphones on stage. It is him.
No BVs on this one.
No BVs. No BVOX. The everyone's monitor mixes are nice and easy. More mic and more me. It's like that's there. No stuff going on. And holy crap. I mean, I love these guys, not just as humans, but as musicians. And so what's your overall thing? Did I do okay with the escalation?
100%. Yeah. It made a lot of sense to start with Whiskey Fist for all the reasons, right? Like it's their number one played song, but it's not their best song. Not at all.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. I mean, it's a good song, but live it does.
Live, it's got to be a different thing than what I
live.
Just
it kicks ass.
Yeah,
but these guys are, as we saw in the bio, recording to them is a whole nother thing. I mean, live is where they live. They want to be playing arenas. They want to be playing the big shows, and they'll play the little shows. They'll play they play some crazy little places when they go out on tour. But their idea is they want to play for 10, 20, 30,000 people, and that's the show that they put on. When we're with them at the Foundry, we can't tell a date yet, but when we're with them at the Foundry, you'll see what I'm talking about as far as their live show goes, which is there is an official video of Whiskey Fist on.
So they don't have much of their own YouTube presence yet.
Not yet. No, we're working on that. From
their YouTube looks like it's at 434 spelled out Vivo 1212. So, and then there's this though. This one just says 434. What do we got here? Okay, this might be their actual YouTube page. Yeah. 3 songs. So 3 videos. One of them looks like a 20-minute set. Red Eye and Whiskey Fist have videos.
Yeah.
So
those are the two top. Those are the Whiskey Fist is number 1, Red Eye's number 2 of their top Spotify's.
Do these guys have socials? Are they on Instagram?
Do they have socials? Go to contact us.
Oh, that's where they are. So I was so here's I found something about the website.
You found something.
That I would change.
There's not socials on every page.
What I like about band websites when I get there is up in the top left or the top right corner. There's the Instagram logo, the YouTube logo, the TikTok logo.
Yeah, I was trying to put it at the bottom, but for some reason I couldn't get it to work.
If it's not at the top of a band's website, I go to the bottom expecting it to be there, and it wasn't there.
That's where you go to Linktree. That is, but that is their.
You've been critical of Linktree on previous episodes.
I have been until the last several of the bands you've never heard of artists.
All right, I'm on the contact us, and I don't see.
Oh,
see, hold on. Is this
something is wrong?
I have a screen of you and me. No, that's not covering it. All right.
No, it should be there. Should in that black spot right there? It should be right in that. No, not in that spot. That spot right there is where it should live.
No hidden links
so
there.
I need to fix that.
Whoever this webmaster is dropping
he
the ball.
Sucks. Goddamn. Go down to their link tree because that is, and I was because they kept going. Go to the link tree. Go to the link tree. And I'm like, oh God, link tree. But I swear to God, that's for what we've been doing with the other bands you've never heard of. The Linktree has been a savior for me trying to piece together the bands you've never heard of website. I still don't know if it costs a lot of money. I still don't know if it's worth it or not, but damn, it sure is helpful.
All right, so here we go. We got some Instagram. Looks like some videos and some pictures, some show posters. This is good Instagram. Makes some sense. I like that poster.
You like those pictures? Yeah, I know.
Cool. And they've been doing it for a while, so that's good.
Yeah, they've been really proactive with their Insta.
And they got a Facebook where you can connect with them on Facebook. Let me follow them. I haven't done that yet. Yeah. 8 hours ago, they posted about Stuck Out. Nice. Press release and everything. All right, good. So they're out there. They're putting themselves out there in all the ways a band that is trying to play for 30,000 people needs to be out there. And doing live shows, and they're smart. They booked a show with our band, so that can only help.
I don't know if that's smart or not, but hey,
And they agreed to be featured and interviewed on bands you've never heard of.
Yes.
So here's what's going to happen next. You, dear listener, are going to wait like a minute, and then boom, we're going to be back live with 434. For us, it's going to be 2 days. We are scheduled to actually do an in-person interview with this band. So like we've done on recent episodes.
At the wonderful Rapture restaurant in downtown Charlottesville.
Yep. I hope the Southern doesn't get mad at us now that they're when we haven't signed any paperwork. So it's not.
We have signed no paperwork with them, and they're and they love the Rapture too. Everybody loves Rapture.
Cool. So Rapture right on the downtown mall in Charlottesville. We've played there recently. Fun little place. We're gonna meet in the back room?
Yeah, in R2. We're gonna take over R2 for an hour and talk to these guys, and that's where they wanted to meet. They wanted to meet at Rapture because they want us. They want to play with us at Rapture, which I'm working on getting us into Rapture, which is entirely different than them getting us into the Foundry.
Yes. So they're not playing live Thursday night when we go to interview them. We're just meeting them to interview.
We're just meeting them to interview, and we're going to sit down and have a couple of Mick Ultras. That seems to be their beverage of choice. I'll probably have a PBR, but and you can have whatever you do. But we're going to chat with them at Rapture on downtown Mall, Charlottesville, Virginia.
And that's what you're about to hear. So stick around. I'll play.
And, why don't we play Red Eye going out because it's their number 2. Yeah.
Red Eye will transition us from part 1 of this episode to part 2. We have yet to have enough listeners to have a commercial break right here, but this is where that would typically happen. Instead, you get another song, and that song is Red Eye.
I only spill drinks on stage, so the table's good. Actually, Scott spills them. Spills my drinks. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for having us. Thank you very much. We appreciate you guys.
We're just going to jump right into it, fellas.
Yeah, sure.
Hello and welcome back to Bands You've Never Heard of. This is part 2 of the episode we're doing about the band 434, and we are joined here by 2 members of the band, Mike and Scott. How you guys doing?
Doing well.
Doing pretty good, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you ever done anything like this before? Been interviewed on camera?
Yeah.
Not your first rodeo?
Times. Yeah, more or less.
Yeah?
Not the first rodeo, I'd say. But,
Done a lot of stuff on camera. Just
First podcast? You've been on a podcast before?
yeah.
did a podcast.
Yeah?
Did a couple podcasts.
Yeah.
I think.
Any podcast that...
Nothing as cool as this one. This is
Wow.
the setting by itself.
Nobody lets us drink beer on their podcast.
That's right.
Man.
You might have just answered my first question. Were you annoyed that Gary wanted you to be on a show called Bands You've Never Heard of? You guys are striving to be heard of, from what I
True,
hear.
very true. Maybe he's kind of think quite opposite, but glad to be here on this program.
Yeah?
I mean, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Bands
pretty
you've
much
never
what
heard of,
everybody's.
that kind
That's
of
what
explains
everybody's
it.
kind of said over. It's like, oh yeah, we know that. It's like it's. But we announced it in the first half of the thing. But this is the very first time that I ever brought a band to JR.
Oh.
And so we also announced that I am also doing work for you guys, as part of
Full disclosure.
Full
we didn't want our audience to be in the dark about any
Yeah.
aspect of that.
No, absolutely not. Gary is actually handling all of our internets and our website stuff, and it's doing a phenomenal
Yeah,
job.
the website's looking great. We looked at it actually on the show.
Honestly.
Oh, and I fixed that problem that you
And
found.
we found a problem.
Oh, this
We
is
fixed
part
it.
2. Yeah.
This is part 2.
Yeah, so he had never heard you.
Yeah,
And I kept him away from it. I didn't play anything that.
Are you familiar with the conceit of the
Rascal.
show at all?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so what we typically do is I go find a band. I go digging deep on Spotify, YouTube. I'm looking for bands that have fewer than 100,000 plays of any of their songs.
And y'all just barely
Squeaked in
qualified.
on
And then I go listen to the band, and they got to be good. I got to like them.
Sure.
Because I'm not going to profile a band and shit all over them. That's not what this show's about.
I take that as a compliment. Thank you very much.
Then I got to think he's going to like them. And that's a higher
tough.
bar. That's
Yeah.
a different bar.
Sure,
Right? And then I reveal to him during the first part of the show the band's songs. We look at their website, we look at their socials, and we do the whole thing. Like Gary said, this is the first time we just flipped that script completely because he's familiar with you guys. I knew your name, but I didn't know anything about you. I just avoided listening to any music, so sorry. Until he played me the songs, or we played the songs together on part 1. So I've been living with your music now for 2 days.
Oh, man.
And I had not heard it at all before. And so I had a whole bunch of thoughts when listening. I've got some questions I want to ask you guys.
Sure. I love that.
And let's just start with the obvious one. You're named after the 434 area code in which we all live. Well, at least I live. I live.
Yep.
You, not in 434? Are you?
I am.
You are in 434?
Yep. It has been it's been my area code since I moved to Virginia. And
so you weren't here back when it was 804?
No. 98.
No, okay.
Yeah, I've had that prefix ever since.
What does like representing Central Virginia mean to you? Like, why is that so important?
Well, I mean, for me, this is home. It's been home for me longer than I've been alive, or longest place I've ever lived, I'll say. So it's definitely home to me. Was in the music scene a long time ago, and exited the music scene in a sense, and didn't play music for a long period of time until that gentleman right there shot me a call one day out of the blue. And honestly, where the name, I think we bounced some names off of each other because we weren't even sure at the time, because it was just kind of getting together to jam out a little bit with some buddies. That quickly got that passion back to want to do something.
Blood flowing again. Yeah.
So did y'all know each other before?
Yeah, actually, after Mike Lyman broke up, Mike joined my band Sedimentaries.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So we done some routing after that for about a year or two. Recorded a 4-song EP that we put out. And we played some shows.
It was really different then too.
Yeah, really different. Yeah, it was different then too. But so we had that connection, and this actually spawned from that.
It did,
because we just kind of said, hey, let's just get the whole crew back together and
play some old songs.
And that's what we did. And then as things happened and it kind of grew, then it turned into what it is now.
I pressed the issue a little bit too, because I had got it after getting together a couple of times. I got
the bug.
I definitely got the bug back. And I was like, we'd bounce names back and forth off each other. He's like, I want a number name. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. He's like, 100 Degrees. Yeah, I'm going,
tribute band.
Barely getting a fever as an adult.
Really?
I said, we're going to 100. I said, how about 434? And we'll have, obviously everything's 434 around here, so we need that separation. So I was like, well, how about let's call it 434? And for some reason I had lowercase letters in my head when I said that. And I don't even think we came up with that, but I was so stoked about it. I drew out a logo, and I brought it to the next time we all got together, and really had to try to sell it myself. But it panned out. So it's a pretty neat name.
As we found out the hard way, band names, if you don't come up with the right one, they don't get found on the internet very easily.
They don't.
Right? They get buried. We had a band name called Big, and you search for Big on Spotify, you literally
or anywhere.
You want to get some big stuff.
Right. That was the idea. It was just him and me making a lot of sound. And so we were like, well, it's interesting. Let's call it Big. And so, but yeah, we had to change that because it was unfindable. What have you done to make 434 more findable?
Well, I caught a little bit of flack at the beginning because I call them lazy typers, but no one wanted to type out 434.
They got the numbers a lot.
There was certainly a reason why we had it 434, but it is a long name, so I get that. So everyone wanted to call it 434, and obviously, kind of like your band, it was you put in 434 and you'll get the dentist and everybody else just before you get the
phone book.
But one thing that it has attributed to it has been over 5 years of continuous data being put out. songs, social media posts.
The consistency.
The consistency picking up, so Google now, if you type in 434 in Google, we come up. We're the AI engine.
Sweet.
So AI will tell you that our bio is what.
And that doesn't come from you guys like paying for SEO results. That's just organic.
It comes
over
from me.
That's right.
That's right. Gary, hard sweating overnight.
Exactly. This is why he's always so tired.
That's what it is. Yeah.
And honestly, when we came up with the band URL, it was that was all taken into consideration. Everybody wants to type in 434. So we put the band. The title 434 band, so that you'd have to at least type in band, and we'll pop up with the same Google search.
So that's what the Google world will see is band music, the numbers, whether they're spelled out or whether they're numeric, but the fact that it's tied to music, so nobody else is really doing that much with that equation. So we're getting the spin off of it, so it's been really good for us, but it didn't happen yesterday. Like I said, this is into the fifth year, going on the sixth, or right in 2019. So
it's going on seven now. So
6 years.
It's taking a long time.
We just
just constantly doing it, and it becomes a brand after time.
Sure.
It was kind of designed that way too. I mean, I put a lot of work into that logo at the start, in the beginning, and morphed it into certain different things, and like you said, part of the brand. I think that really, that's a strong logo, I think, and just for someone seeing it for the first time and going, "What is that?" I think, and that's worked.
So it wasn't necessarily a tribute to Central Virginia, more like I wanted a number, and this kind of worked out, huh?
It was. For some odd reason, I liked the number sequence of it. I liked 434. I liked that I can manipulate the 4 in just that simple circle logo. I liked just different things about it, and there was other coincidences too that a little bit over time that we kind of noticed that were really neat. Not necessarily we didn't know about them when we first did it, but they kind of set hard with us when we read about it, kind of like angel number 434. And if you search this and you look up and you see the description of what that number means, is almost it's almost uncanny to how we carry ourselves as a unit. So that's really neat too. It's really neat to stumble across.
And also like 434 Central Virginia, where we're somewhat all kind of centralized to. I always say that, like, listening back through our catalog, it sounds like I'm just writing my life's music, over again. That this music sounds like my life.
How so?
Whether it sounds punk rock, whether it sounds country, whether it sounds southern rock, thrash metal, whatever it sounds. I mean, those are all things that's played into my life. So when you listen to the soundtrack of it, I kind of listen back and go, that come from Waylon Jennings riff, or that come from Overkill riff, or that I can kind of pick out those things over the years of my life. Hey, that's halfway a Black Flag or a Dead Kennedy's riff, or it's got that mode to it, and it's morphed into like our kind of original energy that we have. So when you listen to our new song, it's really has its own energy to it that it's not duplicated or doesn't sound like anybody else. And that's something that I stay pretty proud of, is the fact that you cut on 434, you're going to go, oh, that's 434. If we pop up on a playlist, you're going to go, that's 434. It's not going to be like, oh, it kind of sounds like, no, it sounds like 434.
It started out that way. This is more, this is how people kind of relate to bands sometimes, is that they compare you, and there's and as musicians and guys who pride themselves on original music, sometimes that kind of cuts through a little bit, and you kind of balance, you kind of straddle the fence on whether that comment is coming as an offensive comment, saying you're trying to rip somebody off, or
Or it isn't.
or it's not that at all.
They're just trying to put you in their head somehow, that relate you to something.
And I think
Gotta have
over
the
time
physical.
we've separated ourselves from that, and now people hear it and go, yeah, it's 434.
When you guys first got together and started playing music in the church basement, were you playing cover songs, or how long before you were playing original stuff?
Right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
Right off, so this started off as an original music band.
We had originals. In fact, over the years, forgot what those lyrics were when those songs.
Yeah.
When we were doing those songs, so essentially, kind of just rewrote them with the general thought of what they originally were, and so that right away got me into the practice of doing it again, and the thrill of creating again. It helped me not remembering what those words were.
So how did those songs change from their original form to the 434 form?
I think they kind of kept the same premise, but again, I being that guy that sets the tone or the story, I'll say that. I kind of write it in a way that people can take that and just apply it to whatever they want to in life. So I think maybe those songs kept the same premise because we had a song title. We remember that.
So you had a thesis.
Yeah. I just had a topic I could write about.
There was only, three songs that we brought back from yesteryear to, 3 or 4. Rest of them are all what we've written in this venture. So
That's true.
we didn't bring a lot back. We just kind of filled up some time with it.
Yeah.
When we was first starting out. So it's not like we'll bring anything old back here in the next year, because we're on the new stuff.
Even those songs morphed into something different musically.
Yeah, because we've grown since then.
Sure.
So in that, now that we're talking about that, when for us every week JR frets over how do I present the songs, what order do I go, old, do I go most popular, least popular, how do I hit what's going to get Gary. So I found out that is a real pain in the ass. and I got way more.
It kind of matters. What order
it
you
really
go.
matters, because we started with Whiskey Fist.
Yeah.
Which is the one that almost keeps y'all from being on our show.
3,776 plays
That's a
of
great
Whiskey
one.
Fist
That's a
on
great
Spotify right now.
And so I played him that one first, and he liked it, but he was like, it was. That's
the general. I get that. I really do get that.
Why do you say
understand that? Well, we're a taster's choice kind of band. Love us or hate us. We totally understand that. I think what stands out is when people see it live. Every song is different. Every song in its own way is different. The emotion that might emote from us, you will feel that. There's no doubt about it.
And a lot of those spins from Whiskey Fist would come as Whiskey Fist being a shock value song. Mm-hmm. Because when you turned into the next song, you're like, wait a minute. I was expecting these guys to sound like ZZ Top all the time.
Yeah.
And now it doesn't sound like ZZ Top no more. And then you went to the third one, it was something even more different or off.
Oh, it got different.
Yeah, it got different.
Things changed.
That square got bigger and bigger.
Yeah. Your evolution was on full display in the order in which Gary.
Somehow I nailed it.
I love that. I love that because that's so true.
Because the last one was stuck out, and that
which we talked about the day it was released, which was cool. And so some of the things I noticed, and one of the reasons I didn't totally fall in love with Whiskey Fist was because I started to think he's talking to me. He's yelling at me a little bit. He's growling at me. right?
Yeah, I like that.
And I don't mind that, but it was the entire song, right? And I started to wonder, okay, can he sing, right?
Sure.
Is that going to happen, or is this what all of the songs are like? And that quickly became apparent that that's not what all the songs are like. And hearing your voice live right now, I'm like, is this possibly the same guy who was growling and yelling at me in Whiskey Fist?
You say that, but that is very, very true. And I like that. I like that you get and pull that from there, because the voice comes from. I can't really attribute all of it to it, but it's a big part of it is a Marine Corps drill instructor. And
I saw your Ode to Arlie Ermy.
Absolutely. That's a fun song.
And Full Metal Jacket's about the best movie ever made.
That's right.
So,
That's
I was never in the Marines, and then maybe that's why.
Well, I was, and I would get out in lead formations during runs, and I would call cadence. And that's where I've always had some kind of rhythm. I've always been musically inclined, and since I was a little kid, but running and singing my own kind of cadence while someone repeats it back to you is a very stimulating thing and very neat thing, and that I've just always kept with me. And I think that's where I originally started. So I get the ass chewing part of it. It's certainly intended to be that way. There's a spoken word aspect to our songs. I don't think I'll ever get away from it. I don't know what that is.
Well, honestly, that's what puts you all apart and ahead of everything. Sure.
It's for sure a differentiator.
Yeah, I mean that's why, like you said, when you hear that song, it doesn't matter if it's an old song, new song. You immediately go, that's 434, because largely because of his spoken word into a melody. So if you have has any of this been kind of steered by Kevin McNoldy? Because I know he's kind of Mr. Melody, so but
I think more of that steers between our batter back and forth. I mean, because we'll talk about guitar riffs, we'll talk about vocal approach, we'll share music, we'll be fans or not like stuff we share back at each other. And, I always have my opinion about vocals, even though I don't sing, but I grew up in the big hook era where I want to know what the words are and I want to be able to sing along with them.
Yeah.
And he didn't grow up or listen to that era, so I kind of roll that into him a little bit, and he does his thing to it, and so it just kind of starts like creating a ball of wax of like, what is this character being? Where I'm just kind of pitching in some stuff to it, and it's a melody, it's a spoken thing, it's a fast, it's a melodic thing. It's just kind of all over the place, and writing the tapestry for it is just making sure that what Kevin really does for us is Kevin takes the beat energy, because he streams into my back line of music catalog. So when he hears my guitar riffs, he kind of goes, I know what he'd like for a back line of this because of what he listens to. So he's like, man, it may sound kind of slowing off time right now, but if I insert this to it, I know it gets his mind clicking. So Kevin does a lot with that kind of stuff on the backside of like getting into that, like feeding the monster a little bit of the music. He gets really into that kind of stuff. I think we've built a good relationship over the last 2 years because we talk pretty frequent, and I share music with him, and I can just imagine him on the other line of my text going, Jesus Christ, what is this? It's like, okay, I'll listen. I mean, but so he kind of gets that, like the up tempo, nervous energy type of tick that my music has to it, or the writing of the music, where it comes from. And so
you make a good point too, because you say, I know for you when you're writing riffs and when you're writing guitar, he's got in his mind, he's already got kind of lyrically what he would
Right, yeah, kind of
to
base it around something.
So he'll base it around that. So he's already got an idea in his head, and of course, I don't get these till a lot later. Sometimes now it's even more. It's even later, because we don't necessarily practice them first before I get them. And so I'll listen to these things hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, and write something. And the first time we played as a band, I'll sing it, and it just takes it, takes them by surprise that what it is, and it's always so much different than what you had it laid out in your head. Because so that's a neat part of the process.
Yeah, I mean, I fully trust what he does, and I know what I would do too. It's not what he would do, so it's just respecting the boundary of the creativity. And we don't push stuff on each other as far as like, well, I'd like for the guitar to sound like that. And I'd be like, yeah, good luck. And then it's like,
play it.
Exactly. Yeah. Frick off. And then I don't do that to him. If I send him something, I'm like, hey, I just have a working title to it. Here's what it is, just so I can label it. And he, just, I don't ever expect him to use that or that be the subject of the song. So,
He's like, write something really greasy.
Sleazy sounding.
Some sleazy, with some 70s sleaze in there.
Or sexy brothers.
Exactly, yeah.
So he never goes, hey, if you could do this a little more like Mel Torme.
Yeah. Like,
I was just listening to the Christmas song, and I'm like, man, if Mike could do that on this song, that'd be fun.
I'm in love with my position as far as where I play into our band. I'll say that. I get immense praise from these guys and for everybody we meet. So that is really cool, and I think we wouldn't be sitting here right now if it didn't work.
Yeah. We would have stopped it a long time ago.
I love putting a story to the narrative that he gives me with these guitar riffs, etc.
So the next song we listened to was For Rent.
Sure.
And I thought it was
Crazy.
a different singer at the beginning. The first line, I was like, "Oh, so there's two singers in this band." And then you started growling again.
A little mean to it, I guess.
So when you need to sing like that, was that something you had to learn later in life as part of this? Have you always sung? I would love to know more about your singing background.
Okay. I think I've had a good singing voice since I was a little kid. Always been, like I said, musically inclined. I've always just taken instruments, and whether I know how to play them or not, I'll create a song or make my parents laugh, something like that, with something goofy or something as innocent as learning the Marine Corps hymn or the Star Spangled Banner. So the singing part has always been there. I think it needed to be coaxed out of me at times. But for the sake of rock and roll and being different than anybody else, it's something I don't want to take away. I want that. I've always want that, some kind of hook. And even in Whiskey Fist, it might not be apparent right away, but there's a few soulful parts in there. And that's certainly by design and by me just practicing on my own. And that's just where it comes out. Or us being loud and me being allowed to be as loud as I want in rehearsal. That's where it comes out.
You mentioned playing instruments, whether you know how to play them or not. Do you also play instruments, or
I play guitar? I couldn't tell you what I was playing when I was doing it, but I'll make noise with it. Several hundred riffs that I've written over the years. I'll bounce them off of him every once in a while. He'll tell me to frig off.
That makes no sense.
This is the worst. What do you mean? It's awesome. I've been playing it for hours. It doesn't work. That's okay. I know my place. But yeah, I'll do that. Same with the piano. Couldn't tell you what I was playing, but every once in a while I can come up with a pretty cool little rhythm. say that.
Yeah.
But basically, in the songwriting, would you say that it always starts with the riff and then goes to the?
Kind of has to.
Yeah, so like this last batch of songs, we kind of split it up and started some new experimentations to where I have a riff or I have parts. And then I started working with Kevin with these parts. And I mean, even though I just want to call them, hey, I got these parts and I throw them in a bucket, they still come out as a song pattern. And he's like, what are you talking? What do you mean you arrange? I'm like, well, I mean, do you need to swap something around? Or he's like, no. And I'm like, okay. And so he's like, how about, let me show you the backbeat that should go to it. I think from, being the producer and knowing you, let me give you something that I think that it should sound like on the back end. So he'll take the riff and then put a backbeat to it and go ahead and tape it all together and say, well, what do you think about that? And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what but
he's looking at it structurally.
Yeah, he's
structured.
I'm always looking as like, and I guess it's the kind of the hard part is like saying, hey, I'm just gonna slap some crap together and work it all out, and I just never allow it to, I always just double check myself and make it halfway decent. And he's always like, I don't need to do anything to this. I'm like, come on, but you're the producer. You're supposed to move some stuff around. And what do you want me to do? I'm like, you tell me. I don't know. I mean,
I want you to be bossy to me.
Yeah, exactly.
That certainly makes the challenge too, because it's always not 4/4.
Yeah.
So and that's not a bad thing. That's a really good thing. It's never something standard.
Yeah.
And so so it makes it it's kind of like putting a puzzle together. And okay.
And I'm sure for him on the backside it is too, because it's 5 riffs, and the second riff I'll start stumbling around this way, so the timing goes weird. And he's like, you're out of time, but you're in time. And I'm like, just play straight through it. And he's like, but it doesn't match up. I'm like, it does at the end. It's like the hare and the tortoise. They both kind of finish at the same time. So just take it that way.
Is that what the story is?
That's not the lesson learned. But he's right. They did both get there at the same time.
Yeah.
Photo finish. I mean,
I know that note's not in the right sequence, but it's there for a purpose.
I don't know what that purpose is, but if there,
that's right.
Yeah, it kind of dings me the right way. Kind of, I guess my little, I don't know, Tourette's syndrome. Yeah.
It sounds like you two are the driving force behind the songwriting. Is that true, or do the bass and drums come into the bass player and the drummer? Do they come into the songwriting process at all?
When it goes to the recording section of it, because they'll have the song and it'll be structured, and then they come in and kind of put their color into the coloring book, so to speak.
That way now.
Yeah, it's that way now. It used to be more of like
it was
everybody pitching in some ideas and some talks, and then it took us 6 months to write a song, and it's like I like to be really fair and like give everybody their say, but if it takes us 6 months to write a song that sounds like it did in the second week that we wrote it, then
in a small amount of their defense, we having careers and having full-time jobs only allows us to play a bunch of shows or and travel or get into the practice space and write songs, write music, and we got a drummer that's in a couple different bands, and bass player who works third shift. So it's a
really limited
struggle. It's a struggle to get together, to be creative together, and so now we got it really good with Kevin McNoldy in that he helps get the process going for him and Scott and for me before it gets to those guys now.
Yeah, so think it's like a blank
luxury.
coloring page. You know, like the lines are here. You know, put your color in it.
There you go.
You know, actually, it's not like that for you too.
It
You know,
is.
it's like
It gives me a lot of.
I draw the outline and then let everybody put their color into it, and that's what makes it us.
And do Craig and Greg do enough to get writing credit, or is it
Sure.
you guys, or what? Is it
Yeah,
the whole
absolutely.
band is
Yeah,
credited with writing?
Yep, 25% each. Yep.
Sweet.
And then the production credit is our LLC.
You guys have described yourselves as no fads, no gimmicks, no trends. What are the trends in rock that you are intentionally avoiding? Like
I
what?
don't know if it's intentional. I think it's just a maturity level, in a sense. In that we've, like I said, we've all got careers and our day jobs, and this is our extracurricular, and it just so happens that we're very passionate about our extracurricular, and I'll go do my work during the day, and I'll show up. If we have a show that night, I'll show up in the same clothes that I worked in, and we'll perform and be entertainers and be good entertainers at that. So I think that's where the we're not trying to be like anybody else. No fads, no gimmicks. We don't have any
We're not
tricks.
spending our energy to sound like, you know, any of our influences, or wear any of our influences on our sleeves. But we do.
Sure.
But they're also different. It makes us, you know, really creatively sounding. I just like listen to so many bands, and I think tons and tons of bands will tell you this, that I went to hear bands like this, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I've heard that 100,000 times. You know, you sound like this, you sound like this, sounds like the same old recyclable, and you know, even radio gets like that too.
A little stagnant.
Just stagnant sounding, and
Sure.
something fresh, and you know, it goes back to the thing of like, we live by the blitz, die by the blitz. You know, it's like either you're a hero or you're just way out in left field somewhere. And we've been way out in left field with it. You know, it's been tough. And the first time that we ever done radio promotion, our radio marketing guy that we hired was like, this is going to be really different. If we gain traction on this, I'm going to be shocked. You know, I'm going to put this trophy on my mantle that I was able to do this. So, and it turned out really good. And I mean, it wasn't huge, but you know, it gained traction, and you know, the more that we play and the more that we travel, and people are seeing us for the third and fourth time, hearing the fifth and sixth song, you know, they're like, these guys are bold enough to be different. They're entertaining and energetic and fun.
That's a good point, because it's much more energetic than you would expect.
Yeah.
And without being crazy.
Well, without being false or being a gimmick. You know, we're not going to run out there in mask and makeup. Come on, how many times has that been done? Stop it. Leave it alone. I don't care if you got a ski mask on. You know, that's not. It's been done. You know, but you know, we just, you know, dance to your music. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do.
Yeah, and before anyone hears it, typically we like it first.
Yeah.
And you know, if we like it first, then that's good. That's good enough for us. You know, and we're proud of it, and anyone that would have
Not just product.
anyone that would have a problem with that, then it doesn't matter to us. You know, we love our tunes.
Yeah,
we love our
and
music.
that makes it go up there carefree.
Yeah, when I was growing up, I listened to a lot of rock, and I always had two buckets for different bands, and I would put Poison in one bucket, and I'd put Guns N' Roses in another bucket.
Okay,
Sure.
Right? And Poison had fads and gimmicks. And I don't know how genuine that was.
They got sued a lot for plagiarism. Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Whereas Guns N'
unskinny
Roses,
love,
as
though, I
fucked
mean-
up as they were the real deal. Like,
Sure.
That was at least my interpretation. Does that resonate with you guys? And are there bands that you can think of that fall into those buckets for you?
For me, yes. Now, I'm a big fan of lots of different things. You know, I think for me, the band Clutch, which we get referenced to a lot.
That's exactly what I told him. He didn't tell me you sounded like Clutch. I told him you sounded like Clutch when I heard your music.
We get that. We get that a lot. And for a while, it was really tough to accept that because I think so much of these guys.
I don't listen.
He doesn't. He doesn't listen. Oddly enough,
Clutch is not an influence for you.
oddly enough, it doesn't. And I thought that was the neatest thing. Clutch and us, we're similar in age. And the whole 9 yards, so the probability of us ripping them off is pretty slim.
Well,
It's never the case.
I think the thing to ask yourselves about is what are their influences? Are they?
They're the same
do they
as
come in-
him.
Exactly.
They're the same as me.
Yeah.
They're the
And
same.
so that's where the thing goes. But
That's where it is. Isn't that so strange? To me, that is so strange.
So like me,
That's so
what it is.
cool. I mean,
Like,
that's
what it is.
picking up the guitar in the late 80s, 90s was, I mean, you're picking up the guitar and the guitar players of that time. Well, you have C.C. DeVille. I mean, come on. I mean, realistically, everybody's like, oh, yeah, C.C. DeVille. I'm like, yeah, go ahead and try to hang with him. That guy will burn your face off. I mean, he's like a Berkeley grad in guitar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He can throw his guitar in the ocean and sound better than me. It's just the way it is. That's facts. So it's like learning guitar and stuff like that. And these guys were like, you know, L.A. glam scene and all this stuff, and here I am in Virginia, and you know, and they're just, I mean, I was listening to people better than anybody I knew, you know what I mean? So I was like, Jesus, how am I ever going to have fun playing guitar? And then I slipped up and found Black Flag, and then I like found them on, the first thing I got ever was Loose Nut. And I was like, oh my God, that guitar. And, you know, then Henry Rollins doing his thing. And the more and more I got into it, and then like seeing the visual of it, it was like they looked harder playing than they sounded even. And that's what like kind of like was like, they're playing with guts, you know, and energy, and, you know, didn't care what you thought, you know, at all. If you didn't like it, if you walked up to them and said, oh, you sound like such and such, you know, they'd be like, you know, whatever. And that's the way I kind of have taken over the years guitar playing and music writing. So when we get compared to Clutch, I'm like, yeah, right, okay. You know? I was like, yeah.
Well, for me, it's you know, these guys have been around for 35 plus years. You know, I mean, they're living legends. And it got a library that will never come remotely close to as far as creating.
But yeah, it's just years of it.
But
years of
it's
the
just
business,
years
yeah.
of it, and that stands to how resilient of a band they are and the music they play. So, you know, that's one band that I probably throw in that same bucket. They're just more different than anybody else.
Yeah.
And he stood out for a couple of years here and there, and now they've got this enormous library of really cool shit.
Yes.
I've seen Clutch live, 1 block from where we're sitting right now. They played the Jefferson.
I saw that. I was at that show.
That was a great. Were you in the mosh pit together?
I was
in
in
the mosh
way
pit.
back. My son, believe it or not, was in the front row. I've got a picture of that night with my son from Clutch in that show. in the front row.
Nice.
That was the neatest thing to me. I couldn't believe it. And that was after I ever thought I'd do music ever again. That was during that period.
When you were not.
Nope, I wasn't in music. I had no desire to do it anymore, but I really liked that band. And of course the influence is there in what we do and what I do. I'll say that. Yeah, it certainly got a cool sound for that. Although we have our little spin on it and that makes it original for us.
Yeah.
So there's that.
You have a song called Energetic Opposition, which I've only listened to once because, again, I've only been listening for 2 days, so I haven't had time to dive deep and really take notes and what I think about songs. So this question comes from a complete position of ignorance.
Sure.
What does this mean to you personally? Like, is it political? Is it spiritual? Just a life stance? I mean, I'm just going by the title.
Great question.
Energetic Opposition. What are you opposing energetically?
Not me personally. I think I was written in third person and at a distance, watching and seeing things happen. And that was actually one of our first
second songs.
Really?
Yeah, that was a long time ago. It was a really long time ago, and it's not. We are not politically. We're not a political band whatsoever. I just think that is just overstepping boundaries as a musician and as an entertainer. Really, you're just. I did not pick sides that way. But this song, and I think I touched on it before, I try to write songs that, if you were to look at it in a political way, you could apply it to how you feel as well, no matter what side that you're on. And I think that song does that. I really do. There's a angst to it. There's certainly an energy, which maybe that's where the title came from. There's an opposition part because both sides are opposing each other fiercely.
I mean, I think that also come from like being opposing us taking our stance on us being different, not being who we're going to sound like this to be able to be your buddies in arms or something like this musically. We're doing this because we're making our stand in the industry and in the standard, so if you want to say that we're fighting against the grain, we are. So we are starting a revolution. Let's go. Why don't you go ahead and put your fist up and hang with us for 45 minutes.
Regardless of what your personal revolution is, it's the idea of banding together in opposition of something awful.
100%.
Well, I mean, not even awful. We don't even choose awful.
Just banding together.
The banding together.
Yeah, us four stand up together and we'll fight the world.
That's great.
Yep.
That is
I love that.
Yeah, that's how it is. I mean, because
to say that
we come out of the gates, just doing our own thing and being really different right off the bat, and we just kind of locked arms and said we're going to continue to do this, and we're not going to sell out in any means and give up ourselves. We're doing it on our own terms. That's really why that song means so much.
We're a rock band. We're not running for any kind of office. We'll sit there and we'll sing whatever. I'll sing whatever it is.
Yeah, but we're also not running to be labeled by any type of genre either.
Sure.
We write what comes from the heart, what feels good. Later this year, you'll really hear that.
Yeah?
We got some good surprises.
Some great singing.
How many more new songs have you got coming out?
3 more new ones.
3 more new ones?
3 more, and we'll probably have some more recorded before the end of the year. No doubt.
And is the plan to just release them as singles, or are you is this an album?
This is genius's idea, and I like this idea.
Yeah, so we just drip singles because taking the national average of the attention span of individuals now has decreased so much. So if I spend thousands of dollars to record 10 songs and I dump them out all at one time, sorry, Gary, but you're probably going to only listen to the first 5 seconds of 3 songs and then move on to get where you want to go.
Right.
So I just spent a lot of money and sectored a lot of stuff out that you're probably never going to hear. You may have missed a good one. You know, you may have.
Yeah, each song gets its own due.
The song gets its own due.
Listening time.
Gets its own time in the spotlight. Gets its own promotion. Gets its, gets its own thing. Yeah, sure. It never looks like the traditional industry thing of, you have an album out, but even now, I think the last Metallica album is they recorded a full album, but they released the song by song.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if they're doing it, we must be following the right ideology.
Well, that's kind of the new trend, and of course there was the big naysayers a couple of years ago who were like, no one will ever record an album again. It was like, well, sit down.
I don't think so.
Sit down, George.
Yeah.
The cassettes are even back.
Yeah.
Vinyl's back.
Yeah.
CDs are back. But, you can go about it backwards. You don't have to do it all up front and then,
You're exactly right. And we can put whatever we want on an album.
Yeah.
We could put an album out, sure. But let's let people hear the songs first.
Yeah.
Maybe they might not enjoy the whole album, but at least at some point they've probably heard every single song.
Yeah, that's right. They've heard them all. Yeah.
I'm a big fan and vinyl stuff. So I certainly at some point that is a goal for me personally, is to have an album and a full album and enough time to actually either put together some stuff that we already have or have the time to be able to sit down and write an entire album without having to do anything else like day jobs and stuff like that. So a little far-fetched.
So you're going to get singles for a good while.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So right now that works for us.
Yeah.
And true to say, you guys kind of like the live shows is kind of really the passion, like where this really comes to fruition. Like, is that the driving force behind this, or do you like recording more? Like, what? How does that work?
Sir, I'm a huge advocate, and always have been, of live music. I think, and I would say especially us. I love when people come and watch us and experience something that they're not going to see regularly. I really love the rock and roll sermon aspect of it.
Ooh, rock and roll sermon.
Yeah, so it really does. I think it really does come across that way. We don't have to do it a tremendous amount to have that come across. It just comes across that way. Every show's its own thing.
Yeah, but it's still the conviction of being able to perform the music that you've created, and each song being something really different, and refer back to a phrase I said earlier. You get to dance through your own music and just enjoy what you're doing. It's fun because just have a good time. Just go out there and entertain people, have fun, play the songs, and see who will smile at you.
Well, listening to Whiskey Fist is a perfect example. I mean, it sounds like, even if it wasn't my favorite song, I want to see this song played live. Like, I want to party with this. Even if I'm down here and you're up on that stage, we're connected, right? I could feel that connection going on in there.
I think when an individual actually sees it and then goes back and listens to the library songs, and then they get it.
Because if you see it live first, I've had this experience with my dad. Yeah. He thought he hated Guns N' Roses. Yeah. We were in New York City. We were at a 5 Bands for $5 show in New York City, and there was a November Rain, a Guns N' Roses tribute band, and he fell in love with the live performance. It was better Guns N' Roses than Guns N' Roses were. Yeah. And I've seen Guns N' Roses. Sure. These guys were better. And my dad became a fan. Like, he loved the song, but it was that closer, intimate, like seeing it live, seeing what actually makes this song happen.
You feel it.
Yeah.
feel them. When you can feel the music and turn around and go and listen to it, you can remember that.
That
you saw.
the whole audience was going whiskey for my fist. Like that was a thing that was happening, right?
Yeah.
That was there.
Yeah. Sometimes
That song's been kind of we go back and forth on
it
it.
hits and misses.
Really?
It depends on the crowd. Some crowds are really energetic. I mean, you got a young crowd full of angst wanting to fight. They don't want to hear Whiskey Fest. They want to hear Stuck Out. They want to hear, the driving harder stuff. And they want to see our energy. They don't want us to dial it back to a groove. They're there to fight.
Or anything with themselves.
With themselves, but that's fine. And then people there that are sometimes there to be entertained, and so when you kind of turn that dial into Whiskey Fist, they're like, okay, well this is mood changing and gets theatric about it. So it just depends on where you're at and who knows you, and how many times you've been around of what people really are going to do with their response to you.
Your banter and connection to the crowd with your style, and I imagine you're quite the showman.
Sure.
I mean, that comes across in just listening, so I can only imagine live. How different is it when you're in a big show with hundreds or thousands of people versus a smaller, more intimate, maybe a smaller crowd, or an off night for crowds going out? How does it work when you don't have that massive audience to work with?
Sometimes, I'd say a lot of times, those shows tend to be better feeling when it's a smaller crowd, a little more intimate vibe, or we're a little closer together when we're playing. So
we feed off each other.
We're also feeding off each other, and there's a lot of that. There's a lot of, that banner isn't always talking either. Some of that's mess around with these guys while we're playing, and then so what rubs off is that, these guys are just having a really great time, and that's really neat to see, whether they like the music or not. So there's a lot of that. When it's a bigger crowd, we're a lot more spaced out. We're relying a lot more on the sound guys as far as what people are hearing out there. But they still get the same show. It's just we're spaced out, so there's a lot more room to move, and so maybe I'll move around a little bit more, all of us. But the smaller venues and the smaller stages are usually the ones that we're all really into it, and we all feel it.
So it's not harder to get hyped up knowing that it's a smaller show for less people, and it's not going to be the big thing.
You don't never take that stuff for granted. We're just blessed to go out and play music and have a good time and enjoy each other's company and have fun with it. Sure. So, I mean, do you go down to the beach and you get disappointed because you're laying out in the sand? No, you don't. You know what I'm saying? You get to go out and lay in the sand and see the ocean. You have a good time, whether it's 5 people on the beach or 1,000 people on the beach. So we're just glad to be able to go out there and do that kind of stuff, because it's always going to be some kind of silliness going on that we all are doing. Usually, just something going on. It's crazy. It's funny. We laugh at it, and it's our inside joke. It's just we always joke that we should have a camera going on in the truck, just because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
just jokes and carrying on, and we get there and to the venue, and the same stuff is going on as floating in, and we're
a bunch of grab ass,
a bunch of shenanigans going on, and
not shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
That's true. Yeah.
And then we get up there, and that's the show. We're just playing and having a good time, and I think the funniest thing, I gotta share this. He's playing in South Carolina, a little small venue, tiny room. It's got people in there, but it's not hundreds of people, because the place doesn't hold
the right amount of people.
Just the right amount of people. And I just got a new Les Paul, and we're playing, and the stage doesn't have par cans. They just got some lights floating up there, and across the front of it, they have Christmas lights going around across the front. It's all artsy, funny stuff.
Yeah.
And we're up there playing, and I'm playing a solo as Whiskey Fist, and I'm doing a guitar trill, and I put my guitar up in the air, and the keys of the guitar grab the Christmas lights. And I'm over there, I'm like, oh no. I'm like, he's over there. He's like,
I move around considerably, and I'm back by Greg playing drums, and I look, and it looks like he's dancing, or he's with his guitar, and I'm going, holy cow. But he's trying to yank his thing.
And I was trying to do it respectfully, not tear down the lights. I didn't want to tear up my guitar, but wasn't nothing working. And I'm just like,
That's great.
and he said to me after the show, he's like, man, you're really getting playing behind your head or something. I was like, I've never seen that from you. I was stuck in the lights. So, of course, that was Scott for a couple of weeks, but it was fun. Stuff like that happened.
And now it'll be forever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we just.
Yes, it will.
I mean, if we spend 10 minutes every time we think about it, laughing, just if we bring it up again, we'll laugh for 10 minutes about it as a band. It's funny, but we didn't realize that showed how blessed we were, because we were playing with a South Carolina band that just played their first show back out because their singer guitar player lost his wife, and then
That's right.
right after that he had a serious heart
surgery.
attack,
Yeah.
or had to have a triple bypass on himself, and put their band on pause for a couple of years. And we didn't realize how we knew, but just a good example of how blessed we are and how much fun that we're having, and just to have fun every chance we can.
To still be able to do it.
Anything to put a stop to.
I know a little bit about the triple bypass. I had mine in September.
Wow. Okay.
And I was back at Gary's house rehearsing. It was November, I guess.
Early November.
Yeah.
That's it.
Wow.
Man, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's just. I mean, we were planning on being out until January, and he goes, feel a little better. Let's come and try. So you found your new practice kit, and he's like, I'm going to try this out, and he comes over and he beats on it for a little bit. He goes, okay, I'm winded.
Yeah, it was just Gary and me that first time.
Right.
And I was like, I can do this, but I can feel it.
Yeah.
And it was a week or two later where we got the band together and we actually had rehearsal. I'm like,
Fantastic.
hey, I'm back.
Yeah.
And haven't looked back since.
That's certainly on our minds. You just never know. You
Yeah.
never know when it'll happen, and I don't think we have time to sit back and think about it either. We're gonna keep on rolling.
Yeah.
But congratulations.
Well, thank you. It's been a lot of fun talking to you guys. Are there questions that we should have asked, Gary? Are there questions you still have?
I was just going to ask them if there's anything that y'all would like that we missed that you would like to be.
I'd like to plug March 7th. Our home base, our home place is kind of the Foundry in Waynesboro. That's really turned into a really neat venue for us, and it's slowly but surely we'll start to fill their capacity, and that keeps growing.
That seems like it'd be
really
a cool
neat.
place to play with a lot of people in it. We know what it's like to play there with like 4 people in it.
Well, we got to open up for Jackal there, which was really neat. So it was a little over half full for that show.
Yeah,
so it wasn't the full 1,000, but it was certainly
Over 5.
Yeah, it was certainly incredible to be a part of and see people that have never seen us before see us in that.
Or even people that have never seen us but know us.
But know us.
Yeah,
we get a lot of that these days. There's a lot of that.
So March 7th at the
March
Foundry?
7th, Foundry, Waynesboro, Virginia. It's a neat place. And there's several more that are happening this year. So
And you've got tour dates on your website, I presume.
yes, as they come in, they given to Gary to
As I'm
do his
allowed,
magic.
as I'm allowed.
You know, definitely want to give a shout out to like the team that's behind all of this for us. We didn't, you know, don't mention them all, but you know, we mentioned Kevin, mentioned Gary, you know, our PR person, Tag Publicity, Rock Rage Radio, who does a lot of stuff for us. Tons and tons of great radio stations on both FM and the internet who play us. Gosh, our radio marketing person who just does a fantastic job. So we're so lucky that he'll take the time to work with us because, you know, he's a major label guy. So we're just lucky that he for some reason likes us. And all these people that we've been able to build a relationship with over the years, and, you know, we just write the music and perform it, you know, but everybody else does all the hard work. We have the fun work.
Yeah, you got the fun part.
Yeah,
for sure.
So
It's nice to have a team.
it's big. It's
A
big.
lot of the bands we interview on this show are complete 100% DIY, independent. They're doing their own videos. They're doing their own marketing. If some are doing it well, some are
Not doing it so well.
It's hard to do that and play in a band and work a day job and all of that. So it's good to have a team.
Yep.
Yeah, and the quality of those guys and girls is incredible. It really is. I mean, these are high profile people and have done some really, really big stuff with some big artists. So yeah, certainly we're blessed there.
And do you feel like the trajectory is going the way you want it to? You're getting to the shows getting bigger.
It's kind of like the stock market, you know. So
ups and downs.
yeah, you have your ups and downs, your peaks and valleys. You know, sometimes you just have to fall back and do it. Do it yourself. But you know, you definitely see like the promotion getting bigger, more and more people following it, liking it, playing it, stuff like that.
Yeah, getting it to as many ears as we can possibly get it to. And I think that's really the way to go.
Yeah. And this year's focusing on getting in front of as many people as what we can. So, you know, we want them to see the live thing now.
Well, Mike, Scott, thank you so much for hanging out with us, drinking beers and talking music. This is a lot of fun when we get to interview a band live like this.
Sure.
Zoom is fine, but live is definitely better.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for what you do, and we're excited for people to see this, and hopefully more people watch.
Well,
because of it.
I would imagine the fan base you're building, they might be interested in knowing more about you, right?
Sure.
And hopefully, we're promoting you on our show, but we don't have an incredible fan base yet. You might help us more than we're going to help you.
Well, that's fine too.
I waited till the end to tell you that.
So is this the podcast that nobody knows about?
That's exactly right.
Great. No,
We're going to pass
one to make
We're
that
going to pass on a share. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, please share this out because you're not only supporting your band when you do that and this podcast, but we feature a lot of bands that could use the support. And some band that likes you is going to go find the episode we did about Inside the Trojan Horse, which is an incredible band. If you guys haven't heard them yet, you should check them out.
Cool.
Certainly will.
And I'm going to put a link to that show at the end of this show because it's the perfect match.
Nice.
And
Very neat.
that band might raise your band up. And if all the bands we interview keep doing that, that's the rising tide that floats all the boats.
That's kind of our motto.
And we come not so unknown.
Right.
Right.
That's the idea.
Thank you guys very
Then
much.
you move up to the bands you've kind of heard of.
I think I've
Heard of those guys?
But those guys play with Weird Al. I think that's what we saw, man. Now the state carnival.
And ever since you said it, I just want to hear like a Marine Corps drill thing. Can you do that? We'll yell
right.
back at you.
So you want cadence?
Yes, I want a cadence. That's what I want.
Jesus. Oh, can we think? I was gonna maybe call everybody at attention, but that wouldn't be the same. Let's see.
And give me the dirtiest, nastiest one you can.
Oh, we'll do something PG.
All right.
I gotta do it loud, don't I? I don't know if I got it.
Jump out the rack in the middle of the night.
Jump out the rack in the middle of the night.
Gonna make a head call and I'm ready to fight.
Gonna make a head call and I'm ready to fight.
All right, there we go.
That's perfect. You didn't join in, Scott.
I did. He
Oh, you
did.
did. Okay, the
sings
second one.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Mike, appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Scott, thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, brother.
All right, Gary, we're going back in time to Tuesday now. We interviewed the band on Thursday, which for us right now is the future. But for anybody listening,
In the past.
it feels like it's in the past.
Yeah.
But we're going to pre-record these end credits. You ready?
I was born ready, I think, but that was before. Is this after?
Yes, it is. This episode of Bands You've Never Heard Of, or as we like to call it, BYNHO, is a production of Ranch Hand Records. That's www.ranchhandrecords.com.
BYNHO is hosted by J.R. Stoffel, who tonight got to react to the band presented by me, Gary Hawthorne.
Yes, typically BYNHO is written by JR and reacted to by Gary, but today, this episode was written by Gary and reacted to by JR.
We are so in the upside down, but still, all songs were used with the band's specific permission.
Check out the band's website. It's a pretty good one, although it's missing socials. That'll be fixed soon. 434BAND, that's the numbers, 434BAND, BAND.com. There will be a link to that in the show notes.
Check out the official BYNHO playlist on Spotify.
If you are listening to this podcast on some podcast platform, good for you. Thank you. We appreciate the fact that you're here. Did you know you could watch this podcast? You can actually see us interview the band. You could see us play these songs. You could watch the videos with us. The easiest and best place to do that is at YouTube. Go to youtube.com/@BYNHOPOD. BYNHOPOD.
If you have any questions, any suggestions for a new band, any suggestions for our wardrobe, or just to say hi, you can get with us with the good old-fashioned email. That's BYNHOPOD, that's BYNHOPOD @gmail.com.
All of that, everything we just talked about and more, is available at our website that Gary made. It's called BYNHOPOD.com, BYNHOPOD, BYNHOPOD.com. You can even order merch there.
And support us without anything else. You can just give us some money to help us keep this going.
Just give us some money. That's all. That's perfect.
That's all we need is some money.
And if you give us money and ask for stuff, we might even send you stuff.
Oh,
Like,
we'll
that's
definitely
a
send
thing.
you stuff if you want some stuff.
You can
We
contact
got
us
plenty
there.
of stuff.
You can read all about every band we have featured. There's a link to that playlist that Gary mentioned. So it's a pretty cool website.
The playlist now is at what, about 28, 29 hours?
Yeah, it's about 28 hours long now.
Yeah, so if you're like going, God, I'm tired of listening to the same crap on Spotify day in, day out, just go and sign up for the playlist, and it will continue to expand your horizon.
I've been thinking about the playlist, Gary. I have an idea for you. We'll throw this in with the end credits here. Because that's such an unruly, such an imposing playlist, right? 27 hours, I don't know.
You put it on shuffle, you let it go.
That's what I do, literally. But I was thinking we might want to come up with some smaller, more targeted playlists, right? Like BYNHO
like
country,
genre.
exactly, BYNHO rock, BYNHO alternative,
Punk
like
pop,
that kind of stuff. Or maybe even a Gary's favorite BYNHO songs, JR's favorite BYNHO song,
Oh yeah,
something like that.
I like that.
We'll have to do some research. If you can come up with a list of your favorites, I'll come up with a list of mine, and I'll do some genre stuff, and we might have way more playlists than we should have. But it might make it easier for you to get in on the bands that speak to you listener, your musical sensibilities. So you maybe you're not into country, but there's going to be some country if you just hit shuffle on the big list. So if you want to get to just the alternative grungy stuff, it's easy.
Yeah, so just send us an email. at BYNHOPod@gmail.com.
What kind of playlist do you want? Send it to
Yeah,
us.
or contact us on BYNHOPod.com. Any way you want. But reach out. We will respond, and we will appreciate everything you say or do.
All right, Gary. I think
But
this
from the
experiment
upside down-
was a success.
From the Upside Down Bino, this is Gary, and I'm out. Thank you so much for listening.
Peace out, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Actually, I probably should have said peace out, and you should have said whatever I say.
Do
normally.
it. Go for it.
Peace out, everybody.
Thanks for listening.
All right, that's done. What's next?